If you are able to, please rise for the class of 2018 to the conclusion of the school song.
This is a mine. Yeah, I knew that.
Please be seated.
No, not you. Stay up here.
Thank you very much to our bagpipers, to all of our student musicians, to choral director, Mr. Mitchell, Mr. Mellon, chair of the Creative Arts Department, and to Mr. Shirapa, director of our string orchestra. Let's disconnect from the outside world for the next hour. Let's stay in the moment and focus on and fully enjoy the celebration of our 87 seniors in the class of 2018. In other words, let's turn off or at least mute our cell phones if you haven't done so already. Thank you. On behalf of Kingswood Oxford School, Board Chair Brad Hoffman, class of 1978, Vice Chair Bruce Mandel, class of 1982, and the entire Board of Trustees, as well as the KO faculty and staff, I welcome everyone here today to the 2018 Commencement exercise, the 106th Kingswood Oxford graduation to be exact. I want to extend a special warm and heartfelt welcome to all parents of our seniors and to their grandparents, aunts and uncles, siblings and other family members, friends and neighbors who share this special day and its culminating experience with our graduates, our seniors, our 46 students, members of the class of 2018, soon to join more than 6,000 alumni of Kingswood Oxford School. I also want to extend a warm welcome to everyone who cannot physically be here today, but who nonetheless is able to join us from around the country, and yes, indeed, from around the globe. This is made possible through live streaming or simulcasting of our graduation ceremony by West Hartford Public Television. Greetings to my own siblings who right now are watching in Denmark, Germany, Canada, and Spain. With me here on stage today, apart from a good number of board members, Board of Trustee members, is our graduation speaker, Greg Scranton, whom you'll hear from a little later. This is one tradition I'm particularly fond of. Members of the graduating senior class choose one faculty member with whom they've bonded particularly closely and who's had a big impact on the class throughout their time in the upper school. I want to extend a personal thank you to the KO board, who works tirelessly and selflessly, as well as gives generously of their time, expertise, and resources. As you may have noticed, to your right, or to my right, the turf field surface has been removed to be fully reinstalled to be the safest and best possible playing surface it can be for the many teams who use it. The new logos on the brand new turf field will complement the new scoreboards on Hoffman Field. So thank you, Board of Trustees. You can clap. We want to continue focused efforts to further move our campus, as you know we've done in recent years. The Buildings and Grounds Department also needs our sincere appreciation. Under the superb guidance and leadership of Larry Marciano, I believe you will agree that our campus was absolutely spectacular and stunning today. The Buildings and Grounds Department works tirelessly so the backdrop for our educational and life-growing experience is always perfect, beautiful, and conducive to learning and growth. So thank you to Buildings and Grounds. I also want to thank the Parent Association and President for the past 2 years, Heather Clifford, and the entire group of parent volunteers for the dedicated work their never-ending enthusiasm, and their deep engagement and support of Kingswood Oxford and of all students and fellow parents. So thank you, Parent Association. I also need to thank Will Gilliard, David Hild, Sherry Malnowski, Natalie Demers, Blair Elliott, Ryan Wallen, and Sage Dining, as well as the many others who ensured this most perfect setting on this glorious, sunny, spectacular graduation day. So thank you. Just one more thank you. I certainly must and need to thank Kingswood Oxford faculty, staff, coaches, and advisors. They are the true lifeblood and at the epicenter of our very fine school. As you know, they selflessly and altruistically go above and beyond every day and have done everything within their power to guide, help, nurture, and draw out the very best in our students, this time the graduating class of 2018. It's a genuine privilege for me to work alongside this incredible group of smart, versatile, and dedicated individuals. They are committed, they are passionate, they are smart, they're giving, they care deeply and genuinely about every single student in their care. So thank you, faculty and staff. We have so enjoyed, appreciated, been touched by, and felt it a genuine privilege to partner with you parents and to be allowed with you to witness your children's incredible and magical transformation as our now older students over the years have turned into self-confident, versatile, talented, impressive young men and women. We saw a glimpse of that last night at class night. Indeed, an extraordinary, impressive group of future leaders, contributors, and change agents. All week long, we have recognized, celebrated, and gone through our school's important traditions and ceremonies. Now we embark on the final culmination of their educational journey, their graduation, the 2018 commencement. Class of 2018, you've done so incredibly well as scholars, athletes, artists, and most importantly in my eyes, over the years, you've grown into caring, kind, grounded, and connected good people who reach out to others, who understand that you all have your sphere of influence in which you can make a genuine, palpable, and positive difference. So class of 2018, let's get on with the show so we can get you graduated. It's now my distinct pleasure to welcome to the podium longtime faculty member Ted Levine, who provides some reflections through the traditional invocation. Ted?
Good morning, and welcome to you all. And thank you for joining the class of 2018 for KO's 106th commencement. I've not been at every one, I just wanted to make that record. And welcome to the millions of wyverns worldwide who are watching the live stream. Millions. I bet my daughter's watching. She's in British Columbia going to school. So I'm sure she got up at 6:30 in the morning to watch her dad give a speech. Maybe. To our graduates, you have been a wonderfully caring class. You are remarkably talented. And there was one moment during your class night reflecting how you and your artistry always challenged borders and boundaries. Your exquisite photography, paintings, and portraits offered brief yet deep glimpses of who you are, glimpses of you we could never catch just passing each other between classes. Your brushstrokes are my metaphors, metaphors for all you've imagined, and how your rich flares created such a textured weave. Some of you painted in broad swaths, seeing concepts and abstractions, making connections among ideas and disciplines. To others, your brushstrokes created fine details in your poems and prose. In your music and dance and design, you became the master of the delicate and the refined. At times, your creativity, your brushstrokes were so well planned. Other times, you put some jazz on your brush and you improvised. The time now has come for widening. You will soon have this big chance to explore complexities you have yet to see. At the same time, you will sharpen, and you'll find your single challenge, the profound question you have to answer, the ambiguity needing to be clarified. Scientists, you'll need to solve the problems science created. Historians, make sure our collective memory moves beyond fable. artists and writers, explore deeply our potentials and vulnerabilities. You'll have so much information to explore what we can do. I know you'll find the wisdom necessary to figure out what we should do. And last night, your class night reflections let us know that you are ready to move on, to widen, and to sharpen. Kevin, today you can slow down just for a moment. Last night, you reminded us how both our portraits and promises are always changing, and how this community embraces an ongoing reinvention of self and celebrates at once who you are and who you will become. Abby, you spoke of mastering tenacity, and through moments of both frustration and laughter, how the KO journey is above all a confidence lesson. In opera, we all know how this community is made in its seams, those moments between classes, and how you wisely told us how friendships are built from little conversations, both mundane and profound. Your little signposts that truly create a community of caring beyond self. Phoebe, you were right. KO makes things happen, a community always encouraging, always widening, and how you created unique milestones, shaping your distinct journey through KO. And Phoebe, I still can't find my glasses in the morning, so don't worry about it. Denny, Amaya, Keegan, you showed us how humor is a community's bond. And in my next life, I want to be Jake Kulak. And can you all make me one promise? Take your many brushes and palettes as you leave, but just don't slap on the paint and give the world yet another monochrome paint recoating. Challenge it, make it better. So to the class of 2018, stay connected to us. You have a community here that cares about you deeply. Teachers who have listened to your ideas and nurtured your unique voices. Teachers who have read every word you have written. Teachers who have grown with you. And you know what? You may never have this again. Not in college, not in life. So to all of you, a deep thank you. At times you surprised us. You certainly impressed us. And we wish you all the very, very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Levine. As always, you captured the spirit and essence of the graduating seniors so beautifully, gracefully, witty, and eloquently. Next, it's my genuine pleasure to introduce senior Eliza Charette, one of our fine soon-to-be graduates, a talented all-around student athlete and leader. Eliza will introduce our 2018 commencement speaker. Eliza, please come up on stage.
As a KO grad himself, Greg Scranton went on from his years here to receive his Bachelor of Arts degree from Oberlin College and his Master's in Fine Arts from the University of Minnesota, where he began his teaching career as a faculty member of the art department. From there, he became an assistant professor of new media in the Media and Communications department at Ursinus College outside of Philadelphia. He then returned to KO as a media teacher in the Creative Arts Department back in 2011. In addition to his teaching, he has also taught graphic design for the Global Online Academy, headed the yearbook, helped with KO TV, and advised students in Form 5 and 6. Mr. Scranton is also a staff photographer and writer for the Surviving the Golden Age, a music blog started in 2005. In his free time, he likes to play hockey, take pictures of his family and friends, and listen to alternative music. But more notably, we know him all as Scrat, the teacher of the highly coveted photography class and lover of music and art. There is definitely a reason why these classes are only open to juniors and seniors due to the high demand. His high energy and relatability make every class a new adventure. I personally have been able to work closely with Mr. Scranton since sophomore year, and like many others in my graduating class, I wouldn't trade the knowledge of photography or life in general that I have gained from Mr. Scranton for anything else. I think anyone who has had Scrat in class can agree that he is not only a teacher, but also a friend, someone you can always count on. I admire him not only because of his good humor and positive attitude, but because of his dedication. Back when the world was only film cameras, our school had a room designated for photography classes to develop their photos. As photography advanced to mostly digital, the darkroom slowly faded away back into Roberts. A couple of years ago, Mr. Scranton took it under his belt to unlock the darkroom and revamp it to the best of his ability. So students like me, who have worked a lot in digital photography, can learn even more about the craft and develop our own photography. This not only shows how much he cares about his students and our school, but also his pure love for what he does. No one asked him to do this, and with him being an artist, teacher, music critic, photographer, husband, and father of two, he has lots of hats to wear and didn't need another. However, he took it on anyway, just so he could continue to inspire kids like me. Scrat, thank you for impacting all of our lives in the most positive way possible. I know I speak for the whole class when I say we are honored to have someone like you as our commencement speaker. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Greg Scranton.
Thank you, Eliza, for that wonderful introduction. I'd also like to thank the Board of Trustees for their dedication of time and resources to ensure the continued success of our great school. Thank you to Dennis and Monica for your 12 years of light and leadership. You will, of course, be missed dearly, but what a beautiful day for a farewell. Thank you to my colleagues for their kind words of support and encouragement leading up to today. To families and attendants for entrusting us with your children, who we treat as our very own each and every school day. And of course, to the class of 2018, it is truly an honor to have been chosen by this year's very special senior class as their commencement speaker. Although, to be candid for a moment, when Mr. Held asked me if I would be willing to deliver this year's address, I was completely caught off guard. My gut reaction was to decline. The thought of speaking in front of you all here today terrified me, so I asked if I could think about it. After a very brief moment, however, I knew the only answer I could give Mr. Hild was yes. After all, how could I ask my students to take risks in class each day, to be vulnerable among their peers by presenting their artwork, and then decline their invitation to speak, regardless of how nervous it makes me? It was shortly after reflecting on my decision that I identified the theme of my speech. If you remember nothing other than the first few minutes of what I say here today, I ask that no matter what path you choose in life, you never stop learning. Lead a life of new experiences, a life full of firsts, and a life of learning. You won't regret it, I promise. When I began writing this speech, I envisioned you, the class of 2018, a decade from now, 2028. Seems like an impossibly far off date, and sounds more like a sci-fi film or a dystopian novel than the reality of future you being in your late 20s and living on your own, hopefully. I picked this time frame intentionally, not to move you out of the present, but to identify and share with you a time in my own life that I had that profound aha moment. And that has in a sense led me to be here before you today. But first, let me take a step back, several steps back, way back. I can still hear the creaking stairs as each and every one of them would groan under the weight of passing students, toting book bags heavier than the little beings that carried them. I swear it was like a house you'd read in a Roald Dahl book. At least that's how I remember it. I grew up in that big old house, better known as the Kingswood Oxford Middle School, for 3 transformative years, from 6th to 8th grade. It was there that I truly began to understand what it meant to learn and take pride in doing so. I learned to love reading, thanks to Mr. Peacock. I learned that when it came to math, Miss Rep had to have been the most patient person on the planet. I learned how to play lacrosse, a game I didn't even know existed before attending KO, and that I would later letter in college. I learned what it meant to make lifelong friends, and unfortunately, like all of you, tragically, I learned what it meant to have a close friend pass away at an age when the only people in our lives who died were old. Just as 24 of you seniors have, I too experienced the 7-year journey here at KO. And while the specifics of our experiences no doubt differ, the learning that began here at KO for all of us has been profound in shaping who we are today and who will we become in the future. We are always growing and evolving as individuals because we are learning. It is when we stop learning that we stop growing. Perhaps this is the one of many reasons that I became a teacher. It's fitting that I should be speaking to the class of 2018, as this is my 7th year and in essence completes one cycle of my teaching career here. I had no intention of or expectation from my parents to become a teacher. In fact, I knew little more about my life after KO other than wanting to play college hockey somewhere. And so when the coach of Villanova University expressed interest in my playing for the Wildcats, I jumped at the opportunity. I had aced anatomy and physiology my senior year here and learned that Villanova had an excellent nursing program. So things seemed to be falling into place, or so it seemed. Once at Villanova, hockey, which was my life's passion, became a full-time job, and organic chemistry became a full-time nightmare. After my first season came to a close, I was physically and mentally exhausted. At the end of my freshman year, I made the difficult decision to stop playing hockey, and the not-so-difficult decision to change my major. When I returned the following fall, I could breathe again. I could take classes and disciplines I'd always been curious about. It was such an exciting feeling. Armed with this new self-awareness, and at the urging of both of my sisters, both KO grads before me, I decided to do the unthinkable and follow in their footsteps once more and apply to Oberlin College as a transfer student. In my first semester at Oberlin, and despite having only a vague idea of what it was, I enrolled in this class called Time-Based Media. This class ended up teaching me what art could be rather than what art was or had been for me up until that point. In fact, time-based media was the springboard for what would become the rest of my life up until now. But I never would have had this opportunity if I hadn't listened to my gut and had the support of my family to enroll in such a class. So moms and dads out there, I know college is incredibly expensive, but just know that all of your hard work your children have put in here at KO should buy them at least a semester or two of indecision and exploration. My point is, if some of you seniors are unsure about what the future holds as you sit here listening to me talk, don't panic. In fact, you should be brimming with the excitement at the endless possibilities that the next 4 years and beyond hold for you. And likewise, if you are one of those students who knows exactly what comes next, I'd encourage you to take a class that seemingly has no connection whatsoever to your major. I'm not advocating that you pursue a non-traditional educational or career path just to be different, but I am advocating that you keep an open mind for what's possible along the way. And so in 1999, I graduated from Oberlin College with a degree in studio art and a minor in film studies. The tireless hours spent toiling in my studio and leaving the windowless video editing room to a new day's sunrise had paid off. You need to find what makes you happy and what motivates you to do your very best. So when you head off to college in the fall and you're looking through course catalog, don't be afraid to enroll in Beekeeping 101, the science of Harry Potter, the politics of Kanye West, or perhaps even my personal favorite, How to Stage a Revolution. And yes, these are all real courses offered at one time or another by real accredited institutions of higher learning. Of course, some of these are a bit unconventional, But when's the next time you're going to have the opportunity to learn from qualified experts in these niche fields of study? I can tell you, never. So seize these opportunities when they present themselves and keep your list of new experiences growing. After graduating in 1999, my then girlfriend, my now wife, and I moved to Brooklyn to take on all that New York had to offer us. I became a studio assistant for renowned artists such as Saul LeWitt and Nam June Paik. Once again, everything seemed to be falling into place, but once again, I grew restless and was moved to seek new opportunities and different challenges, and so I applied to graduate school. As amazing an experience it was to help make the work of artists cast forever in the annals of art history, I longed to make my own work once again. And so I returned to school, this time at the University of Minnesota, better known as Mr. Keife's graduate alma mater. That's right, Rob and I may be Wyverns forever, but we're also Golden Gophers in perpetuity. I left New York in the September of 2001. But before my departure, I'd been working for the World Trade Center Arts and Events, installing traveling art exhibitions and setting up for concerts and performance in the Winter Garden between the North and South Towers. Now back at the U, it was only my second week of classes when on a brisk and sunny Minnesota morning, a friend called and told us to put on the news. 15 days removed from my time in New York City, I watched the second plane crash into the South Tower on live television. My call sheet had me scheduled in the Winter Garden on September 11th at 8 a.m., but instead I was 1,200 miles away in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was once again one of those moments in my life that compelled me to reflect on the choices I'd made and that had led me to where I was. In 2004, 10 years after graduating from KO and 1 year out of grad school, at the age of 29, I took a position as an assistant professor of media and communications at Ursinus College. In 2007, we welcomed our first child, my daughter Mia, who will be starting here at KO in upper prep next year. Then, in 2010, after the birth of my son Kai, that feeling of restlessness crept back into my psyche. With our families living in Connecticut and Rhode Island, a return home was imminent. I never gave much thought to teaching high school, but figured, why not? Maybe KO was looking for someone. And now, here I am, addressing the class of 2018. It's been 7 years, and that feeling of restlessness has yet to take hold. In fact, the opposite is true. I feel rooted here more than ever. I've returned home, and yet I've learned so many new things without changing my physical location. In 2013, I became a staff writer and photographer for a nationally recognized music blog. In 2015, with the generous support of the Parent Association, I was awarded a grant through the Giving Wyvern Wings program that has enabled students to once again learn the magic of film photography. I've also learned how to be a better coach. I've now helped my son Kai's hockey and baseball teams, but I'm better at it having learned firsthand here at KO. I've learned of the true power and impact that a coach's words can have, and the responsibility that comes along with being in that position of authority. I've also learned that the power of forgiveness and affording someone a second chance is a profound gift. My parents always told me to work hard, but have fun. Now it's my turn to teach my son this important life lesson. His passion and perseverance for learning the game of hockey is an inspiration. His thoughtfulness and empathy for others off the ice has translated to him being a smart and effective player on the ice. I've learned what caring beyond self looks like in action. My amazing wife, Lisa, constantly demonstrates this highly regarded principle of community through her random acts of kindness to perfect strangers, the homeless, refugee families from Syria, and even to our forgotten and abandoned furry friends. Watching Lisa and my daughter take the lead in caring for these foster animals is nothing short of remarkable. Since we began volunteering in 2016, we've helped almost 40 cats find homes. Mia, whose determination to continue to help these animals, no matter the odds, has shown me what true empathy and resiliency looks like. It reminds me that each day is a gift, and that I am incredibly lucky to be here with all of you. My family makes me a better person. My colleagues make me a better person. My community here at KO make me a better person. The class of 2018 have made me a better teacher, a better advisor, a better coach, and a better person. And for that, I thank you. I hope that you will all take these words to heart and use your skills, use your talents and your voices to make the world a better place for all those who inhabit it. No small task, I know, but you can do it, each of you, in your own way. The steps one takes in achieving this may feel random or inconsequential along the way, but as my story has highlighted, I can attest that there is nothing random about the life path you choose in your quest for happiness. As I learned while researching the writings of J.R.R. Tolkien for my senior thesis, right over there in the library, all that is gold does not glitter, not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither, deep roots are not reached by the frost. So I'd like to end my talk with one simple request. In a moment, I'd ask that you give a rousing standing ovation, not for me, but for the 87 young men and women on either side of me who have earned it and deserved it. And while you do that, I'll take a picture, put it on my Instagram so it looks like I did a good job, but you're actually clapping for them. So if you could all rise, those of you who can, to the class of 2018, make your voices heard and make your mark. You all, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What I always find remarkable is we don't coordinate our speeches, but the core values and the mission are so clear, and you will hear some of the same phrasing, some of the words in our speeches. I like the one about how to stage a revolution, and I hope that the class of 2018 will stage revolutions. And now, to the key moment we've all been waiting for, the awarding of the 87 diplomas to our graduates. And will Mrs. Demers, our Associate Head of School and Director of the Upper School, please come forward to assist me with the awarding of the 2018 diplomas.
William M. Appleton. David Anthony Arcisi II. Kevin E. Augustine. Maitland Jane Bailey. Skylar Corinne Barron. Hannah Danielle Bash. Nathaniel Aaron Bates. Eloise B. Bavier. James Bernard Bayer. Kevin T. Becker. William Taylor Bierbaum. Mason Wetherell Bowers. Noah Irene Boyd. Ian Daniel Britt. Haley Lynn Carangelo. Nicholas Cassiano. Carter Morse Costanza. Luke Mark Champagne. Elizabeth Hurst Charette. Alejandro Enrique Correa. Nelson Antonio Correa. Christina Marie Daniels. Angela Ann DeLucia. James Albert Di Virgilio. Robert Theodore Francis Downs. Caroline Heath Doyle. Abigail Susanna Everly. Natalie Claire Eckert. Haley Ward Gervino. Noah Archibald Gibson. Mackenzie Elaine Goldschlager. Michael Joseph Goldschlager. Ryan Michael Goss.
Say what?
Prithvi Gunturu. Elizabeth Rose Hammer. Christopher Miles Heelis. Neil Himnani. Alicia Kate Henry. Alexander Samuel Hurst. Zachary Philip Hurst. Kian Isari. Noelani Ann Jackson Sherman. Riley Scott Johnson. Aparajita R. Kashyap. Elijah John Kadua.
Reach up here.
Harold James Cross.
Jacob
Max Kulak. Julia Marie Lentieri. John Michael Lashner. Shuyang Leon Liu. Holly Ann Lombardi. David Paul Maritolo. Dakota Riley McMahon. Anthony McKay Melody.
Jackson Wilmont
Mashak.
Jenna
Grace Mick. Sharif B. Mutasa.
Emma Marie Willette.
Adam Clancy Ovian. Timothy John Pettit Jr. Mark Richard Place. Denny Puka. Surya Ram. Hamza Shamoon Rashid. Tina Brees Real.
Colin Thomas Regan.
Kiara Q. Rigo. Olivia Marie Rossi. Jacob Glenn Rowland. Gabrielle Ann Rubin. Gabriella Tyler Rusconi. Joshua William Schaefer.
Emma
Lawrence Smith. Joshua Daniel Soterio. Jaron Paul Stake. Justine Ann Strum.
Zachary
William Swilling. Varun Tankala. Benjamin Joseph Tauber. Patrick Michael Taylor III.
Phoebe
Bixby Taylor. Keegan Anthony Toland. Victoria Vasquez. Christian Joseph Vitti. Shuyue Angela Young.
Amaya
Tony Jesse Young.
Kyle James Zimmerman.
Congratulations to the class of
2018.
And now we'll get back to the real program. We're actually going to sing the school song, which we're supposed to do before. It's okay to make mistakes.
All right, close to you.
Hail Kingswood, Oxford, vibrance forever. We shall always hold to when we dare. Raise high our colors, save like a ransom. Live long life through our days spent here. All those who love Him, all that we've done, will be a part of the path we've begun. Hail Kingswood, Oxford, vibrance forever.
Please be seated. I think I may have started a new tradition just as I'm about to leave. This is a great place to have the song. We're nearing the end of our celebration, but before Rob Kife provides the final farewell remarks, it's a tradition that I, as head of school, address the seniors directly one final time with a brief reflection and charge. I wish they were in front of me, but they aren't. This will be the 12th and final time I do so, because like our seniors, I too will graduate and depart from KO. And Monica and I will take everything we've learned, gained, experienced, loved, and enjoyed with us to Washington, D.C. to face new challenges, new opportunities, new joys, as Monica, Grandma, Saudi, and I meet new people and will learn and grow in the process. Remember, no matter how old you are, we all works in progress. We are never finished, and that's a good thing. Even Grandma has a lesson or two to learn, as we witnessed Wednesday when we all sang happy birthday to Ruth, who turned 85. Senior parents, 2 years ago, Monica and I were in the same place as you are today. Our son Nicholas graduated from KO and was heading to NYU.
And the feeling of both tremendous joy,
Excitement and pride was mixed with a sense of anticipated future sadness, loss, and a real void that you also may feel right now. But like you, we also knew that Nicholas was ready, well prepared to take on college and the world beyond. Parents, I want you to know that you've done a remarkable job preparing your children to take that first step and embark on their next journey. Faculty and staff, I commend each and every one of you for the roles that you've played in preparing members of the class of 2018. They know it and showed their appreciation and thanks last night. So class of 2018, last evening at class night, emceed beautifully and with the right touch of humor by Keegan and Amaya, a number of you once again displayed your incredible talent and versatility. But most importantly in my eyes, there was a palpable sense of closeness, of deep connections, and of you sensing the richness, the depths and intricacies of the journey you've gone through together for 2, 3, 4, or up to 7 years. Your poise, your confidence, and your many gifts not only make me very proud for having led our fine school, but over the years you have moved me many times, and I've been able to witness and take it all in awe. You're so young, yet have already attained a level of excellence, a level of sophistication, a level of maturity, and a can-do attitude that some adults may never attain. Your parents have blessed you with the opportunity of the education and life preparation you have received. I know many of you will remain lifelong friends, like so many KO alumni before you, but you will also go in 87 different directions, take different paths, which is both appropriate and good, but also a little scary. The unknown can be a little intimidating, uncomfortable, give you butterflies, but embrace the newness, the new opportunities, the chance to reinvent, reimagine, and recreate yourself. Although you're ready to take on the world, let's not kid ourselves. Things won't always be easy. Not everything will be perfect. You will face obstacles, setbacks, challenges, and heartaches. As a class, you've already experienced the incomprehensible loss of a dear and beloved classmate. We honor Ellen's legacy and will keep her with us in our hearts, always.
We've taught you critical and generative thinking. We've taught you problem solving. We've taught you cultural competency and how to navigate complexity and ambiguity. We've tried to teach you that sometimes two truths or more may carry equal weight, that a wide range of diversity can make things very complex. It always enriches and expands
our thinking, our creativity, and our ability to find the best solutions. We've taught you that it's okay to have a little swagger, real confidence in yourself. However, that swagger and confidence should always be balanced with humility, caring beyond self, and being acutely aware of where and how to help. As Phoebe and others reminded us last night, sometimes it's the small gestures that just may brighten someone's day. Lift them up, give them a glimmer of hope, a connection, a one ray of sunshine, a smile, a random act of kindness, a shoulder to lean on, a checking in. Are you okay? My gift to you today is the following. I give you permission to be imperfect. I give you permission to run down the path of life at your own pace. I give you permission to laugh, to play, and to be silly. I give you permission to suspend judgment and enjoy the moment and people as they are. I give you permission to disconnect from social media for as many hours you want every single day. I give you permission not to be too self-critical and to accept your flaws and shortcomings. Surround yourself with positive, caring, and kind people. Stay away from negativity. Assume goodwill and good intention, and allow others to make mistakes without judging or dismissing them. Don't hold grudges. The power of forgiveness can be magical. Sometimes a person needs a second, third, or fourth chance. Remember, we all works in progress. We all make mistakes. We all learn. We all change. Do set high expectations for yourself. Have lofty goals, but also know no matter how well you may map out your life, traffic will slow down, roadblocks will occur, and snowstorms will come out of nowhere. When they do, take a deep breath, go with the flow, ask for direction or help, adjust, adapt, and move on. Even if at a slightly slower pace, there really is no rush. Let life come to you. Don't force or rush things. Finally, find those little or small things that give you peace, that make you smile and allow you to feel a sense of the power of the universe. As Fritz Goodman told you the other day at Assembly, one of the things that always feels magical to me, pulls me, and gives me a serene sense of peace is a magical full moon. When my children were young, often to the dismay of Monica, I would take them out of the beds, even in the middle of the night. I would swaddle them in a blanket, carry them outside into a dark place, and in complete silence, we would just look at the moon together. Over the years, even Monica knows it's a good thing. Lead your own lives. Be yourself. Pursue your unique passions and always take very good care of yourself. Your physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental health are all critically important. Without health and positivity, you will not succeed or be able to make a difference. Class of 2018, congratulations. As Mr. G always reminds you, we love you, we will miss you, but no, KO will always be here for you. Thank you. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Rob Keif, who will give the farewell remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Class of 2018, we now bid our final farewell to you and to the honorary members of your class who are departing with you. Dennis and Monica Biscard, Natalie Demers, Meg Kasprack, John Sherfinsky, and several other teachers beloved by you. In the poem Walking Away, Cecil Day Lewis recalls watching his young son walk away from him to attend his first day of school. Lewis's words capture the bittersweet mixture of sadness, acceptance, pride, and hope we all feel in our hearts this morning. I have had worse partings, but none that so gnaws at my mind still. Perhaps it is roughly saying what God alone could perfectly show. How selfhood begins with a walking away, and love is proved in the letting go. And so it is with us. We, your parents, families, teachers, and friends, prove our love by letting you walk away from us this morning to continue your journey into selfhood. Godspeed, keep in touch, Wyverns forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reif. And now please stand for the recessional. One tradition that you should all be aware of, our 87 seniors have not actually graduated yet. They may have the diplomas, but as a tradition here at Yale, all seniors, as proceed out, they're going to shake every single faculty member's hand, and once they're at the end of the line, then they have officially graduated. So, can we have the recessional, please? And faculty members process out first.
of myself.